The recent rationalization exercise conducted by NCERT is now the heart of controversy. Some have willingly accepted it and some have rejected it. But there are few chief advisors who have also written to NCERT to drop their name from the textbook. However, NCERT has responded saying that this could not happen, and now it is also turning it into a political controversy rather than focusing on education and academics. And now I'm exclusively joined by Professor Santishree Dhulipudi Pandit, who is the Vice Chancellor of JNU University. Thank you so much, ma'am, for speaking to Times Now. Ma'am, there has been a change in the course and the syllabus of the NCERT, and also now there is this political controversy turning around. First of all, how do you respond to all these things?
See, syllabus has to change. There is nothing political about it. From 1966 onwards, in 2006 also there was a revision. And when there are revisions, according to me, revision has to take place every 10 years because knowledge is growing, and the students who are studying also should be there, have the latest theories or knowledge that has come about. So first, I do not agree that any revision exercise, meaning of the syllabus, we do it in JNU every 3 years. Then where is the politics in it? So to remain abreast, it is necessary. The other thing is, the issue that you have asked is that certain people have asked for the drop of them. They could have resigned. So my question is, see, there is nothing political here.
Also, the council has introduced several changes in the subjects like political sciences and subjects like history. Now, some people think that it is a deliberate attempt to influence the educational institutions.
My question is, see, in 2006 or earlier, the history textbooks had certain dynasties, like who were overemphasized. And like I come from the south. There is no mention of the Cholas, Cheras, Pandyas. And Cholas ruled for 2000 years. You don't have this thing, and you have a dynasty that didn't even rule for 200 years, where they are repeated. Or even the Marathas. Are they even mentioned? So you have several, or even the Palas, or even the Ahoms. Where are they in the history textbooks? Don't you think that marginalizations also happened earlier?
The story did not make headlines not in India, but also made headlines all over the world, the change in the syllabus. How do you see this NCERT responding that it is done under the umbrella of rationalization?
It is rationalization, see, because why I am telling you, one, it was misinformation. And I am very worried about this. Half-truths are more dangerous than lies. And this has become like Goebbelsian world. I tell a lie and I have an ecosystem that echoes it and saying that it is the absolute truth, then you believe it as the gospel truth. So the question is, see, the question whether Darwin's theory should be taught in which class. And do you think the same theory should be taught? And Darwin's theory is so old, even in the West it is being contested. Should not you also bring in new, like artificial intelligence, the chat GPT, everything that has come? So the whole rationalization is under the vision document of the National Education Policy 2020. It is a holistic document. Okay, every change, every time that syllabus is changed, everybody can criticize it. But after 10 years, you can change. Nobody is stopping you. It's not the last word. But some people feel that whatever they did is right and whatever others do is wrong.
How do you see the misinformation around the news that key concepts and segments, mainly the theory of evolution and the periodic table, have been dropped from the science textbooks by the NCERT? Could you please help us to differentiate between facts and fiction?
See, this is the problem that has happened. It's initially started in the social media. And then it was picked up by mainstream media, including Al Jazeera and then Western media outlets. So basically nobody checked really what was really happening. It is not that the evolution theory of Darwin was dropped. It was only rationalized and put in a particular class so that there is no repetition of it at 2-3 areas. And so that other new discoveries of science can also be brought in. Earlier, now nothing about Indian science was ever mentioned in our textbooks, like Aryabhatta, or even any of our great scientific, even the concept of zero. So if you see very clearly, it is very important, or even latest theories in the West. They are contesting in the West Darwin's theory of evolution. So why can't those debates come in? Is Darwin the last word on evolution?
Deletion of certain chapters, say it be the Mughal era chapter, the chapters from Mughal emperors, or the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi, or say it be the Gujarat riots. Some people term it as a conspiracy in the education.
See, one thing let me tell you, history usually is his story. So I would rather like it as a her story. Number two, how many chapters of what kingdom should be? Eminent historians are the ones who are writing these books, right? They're experts, so they can decide. I, coming from the south, I believe that there is not a word on the Cholas, who are a seafaring empire, or even Sardar Kanoji Angre. You ask any Indian student who is Kanoji Angre, they don't even know who he is. He was one of the greatest naval commanders of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Why? So Ahoms also, Lachit Phukan. Only now we know that they defeated the Mughals 17 times. Why has that not come in? See, if you want to bring in the generosity of somebody, you have also to bring in the genocide that they committed. What I'm saying is facts are sacred. Interpretations can vary. Here facts are varying and interpretations are sacred.
Professor Suhas Parshikar and Yogendra Yadav are the ones who have written to NCERT to drop their names because of certain reason, and they have also mentioned the word embarrassment, that they feel embarrassed being mentioned their name in the NCERT textbook as chief advisors. What do you think, ma'am? What triggers them to mention such things?
I think basically ideological moorings, and they also embarrassed all of us by putting a cartoon of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar being whipped by Nehru. Was that not an embarrassment? So I think they have no right to talk about embarrassment. See, all of us have our, ideological moorings. But that doesn't mean, see, if you don't want to be a part of an exercise, you can resign voluntarily and gracefully. Why make it so political?
When they wrote to NCERT, NCERT told, and I quote, that if Yogendra Yadav and Professor Parshikar are asking to drop the name, NCERT says that at no stage the book claims any type of individual authorship. How do we understand this?
See, I think I cannot answer it because I am not also on the NCERT board, nor am I on that administration. So I have no idea why they gave a reply like that. I have just no idea. But my question is, because these people were very much part of the 2006 revision of the syllabus, where there are a lot of criticisms from others.
Yogendra Yadav also says that the Jawaharlal Nehru University's Vice Chancellor is supporting NCERT. How do you respond to such claims?
So what? So what? I am being factual. And I am, also an academic and an intellectual in my own right. Do I question the stand he takes? I don't.
How do you explain the role of textbook development committee? Because there is a lot of hear and say about the textbook development committee's involvement in the change of syllabus. So you have also mentioned in one of your article about the textbook development committee.
See, there are very structures in the NCERT. NCERT is a body that was there. It is not, doesn't belong to a particular party. Let's be very clear. And number two, let's be very clear, syllabus revision of textbooks have been done several times. This is not the first time that it is being done. Or this won't be the last time also. So the first question is that NCERT has its structures in place. It has committees which looks into all aspects, who are supported by the very good academics, very good teachers. The ministry and the NCERT selects them on the basis of their merits or the basis of their writings and other things. Some people may not like the people who are selected, but this can happen under any administration. It's not necessary only now. But why the criticism only now? Why was there no criticism earlier? There were similar cases earlier also, which I have written in my article. Why was there no protest at that time? Are we trying to say that if certain people do, everything is right? If certain other people do, you have no right to say anything. We have the last word. Without our saying yes, you cannot change anything. This is as good as fascism.
Do you also believe to the fact that why the Mughal emperor's theory should be taught to the students? In fact, there are n number of Indian heroes, Indian freedom fighters who have sacrificed their life for the country, have fought for the country, and those should have been taught on the front foot to the students.
See, my question is, there are experts who can decide what should be the part of history. I only want factual history to be taught. Interpretations, agenda setting, gatekeeping should not be there. I come from the south of the country, or even from up till Maharashtra. I find most of the historical facts are never even mentioned. So this is absolute marginalization of large chunks of history. What they are trying to do now is only fill up the gaps. Nobody is being marginalized. Who said the Mughals were not there? They were there. Give them their due for the 200 years, less than 200 years they are. But what about people who ruled for longer periods? Should they not be mentioned? Should not there be a rationale how we teach Indian history? This is Indian history. India means from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Kutch to to the northeast. So if you see very clearly, all parts of the country have to be represented. And I think, as Ashish Nandi said, we are a nation in the making. And unless you are inclusive in your history, a child from Assam will not know about the Cholas. A student from Tamil Nadu will not know about Assam, Ahoms. And a student from Delhi should know that Hindi is not the only language. There are so many other languages which are older to Hindi.
You agree to the fact that history with facts should be taught. Then why there is such kind of controversy where people ask to remove their names and they do not like to mention? Do you think that now they want to follow a particular ideology as far as this entire controversy is concerned?
See, I won't put any motives to their action. I think they are their best answers. I would only say, please leave textbook writing and academics and teaching to the teachers. I think politics and politicians should not come in. And facts are sacred. Interpretations can vary. I have no problem. See, I can read a fact and interpret it in a particular way. You can read the same fact and interpret it. It's like seeing a movie.
So do you believe that both the things should be taught to the students? Say either it be any leader, both the things should be taught and let the student decide what is right or wrong?
To a large extent, I would agree also. I would also say that leave it to the experts. See, we have the best historians in this country. We have a lot of young crop of historians coming up. The same old people cannot say, I said the last word and my word cannot be changed. This is like my way or the highway. India is known to be a very, very pluralistic, a country that celebrates diversity. And I think we should have diversity, and the NEP is promised holistic. That is we shouldn't burden students with too many facts. Now they want them to do experimental learning, and that is very important. Like, for example, instead of teaching something in history, take them to the place where something happened, explain it. This also can be methods and methodology. So when people are experimenting with the new ideas, I think it should be welcomed. Change is the law of life. That is what Gautama the Buddha said, the first rationalist in history.
You rightly pointed out change is the law of life, and a similar kind of change a while back was also made in the Delhi University, where Veer Savarkar's, in fact, the entire paper was included, and that also gained a lot of controversy. So why do you think, ma'am, that inclusion of such leaders create controversy, say it either be NCERT, CBSE, Delhi University, or for that matter in the coming time might be JNU also. So inclusion of such leader and exclusion of leaders like Muhammad Iqbal. So there were people saying that Muhammad Iqbal should be taught, and there was no need to give space to the leaders or the person like Veer Savarkar.
See, my question is, the syllabus change was done by experts there who were teaching the subject. Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, whether people like him or dislike him, was a great nationalist. He lived for 14 years under the worst conditions in Kalapani. Show me any leader today who can go and stay like that. See, don't undermine a man's sacrifice, and don't trivialize these sacrifices. It's very, very hurting to people who come from Maharashtra. Even Lata Mangeshkar, the greatest singer that the world has produced, played her tribute to Vinayak Damodar Savarkar because he was a great poet. See, many things, don't do it out of ignorance and half-truths. What I greatly fear is this half-truth and misinformation. And in this age of social media and RTAI and chat GPT, it quantifies not 100 times but 1,000 times. And the truth is finally the casualty. And this is very, very dangerous for a democracy like India. And let me also say that Karl Popper said open society and its enemies. That is, democratic societies are the most vulnerable to such false attacks. And I think India is facing that, and it is very, very unfortunate.
Last question is, what message would you like to give to those who are spreading misinformation, fake news, or not very willingly accepting to what the actual fact is? A last message.
See, one thing is, whenever there is there is always circulation of elites. Only one group of people cannot rule the country forever. You are going to have different groups coming in and different, things. So you have to accept that there is, everybody has a right, and everybody is as intelligent as you are. And please do not, if you do not know something, do not amplify it. Because please check your facts, check up with the NCERT if they are really removing this. If they are not, and don't just spread it on half-truths.
And you said resign rather than dropping them.
That is their personal issue. I don't know what is, because I've never been part of the NCERT. To be very honest, I wrote there as an intellectual and academic and a concerned citizen of this country. Because I somehow, even in your, even for JNU or any other institution or personally also, half-truths is very painful. Because people don't know anything about you and still can say many things. When that is at the individual level, at the level of a nation, we are today transforming an emerging power when the entire world is respecting us, and then you spread saying that the education system is so backward and this, which is not also based on truth. That is what, and facts. So my basic thing is, facts are sacred. Please, for heaven's sake, check your facts before you make allegations. That's all. And to young people I say, please keep your mind open. This is a golden period for you. If you make the best use of it, you can do very well. But if you make bad use of it, you can mar your own careers and the country's career. Thank you so much.
So this was Professor Santishree Dhulipudi Pandit speaking exclusively to Times Now, decoding each and every detail and specifically mentioning that focus should only be on the facts, and there should be a very broad, not thin line, but a very broad line between misinformation and the facts. And today's generation should also focus on what is the truth. With camera person Dilip, this is Santishree reporting for Times Now from Delhi.